Hello Crow Coven and welcome back to our channel. This is Nyx from Soulmate's Apothecary, and in today's video we're going to be looking into what your next soulmate connection is going to be. But before we get into the reading, and if you're new, remember to like the video, hit the subscribe button, and also leave a comment to let us know that you've joined the Crow Coven. And if you'd like to go the extra mile, feel free to share this video with a friend. You can also support our channel more directly by checking out our website at crowmatesapothecary.com, and that's where we create our homemade all-natural self-care products. Crowmatesapothecary.com is also the only place where you can actually book a private tarot reading with me, so if that's something that you're interested in, remember to check that out. Just know that in whatever way you guys choose to support, I want to thank you so much for watching this video. And now let's get into the intro of the cards. So for today's video, I've actually chosen to go with one deck in particular. I'm going to be working with the Art Nouveau deck. I was just feeling very drawn toward that one today. But starting on the far left side, we have this clear crystal quartz point that is going to be representing group number 1. Then we have this honey calcite that is going to be representing group 2. Next, we have this raw crystal quartz that's going to be representing group number 3. And lastly, we have this pyrite that is going to be representing group number 4. So if you need a moment, feel free to pause the video and meditate on the cards that I have set out before you. And when you've made your decision, head on down to the description box below and then click on the timestamp that corresponds with the group that you chose. And now, without further ado, let's head into your reading. Hello, Group 1, and welcome to today's reading. So in today's video, we're going to be looking into what your next soulmate connection is going to be. So this could be something like a new friendship that's coming into your life, perhaps a new romantic relationship. This could even be like a new pet that could be coming into your life. For some of you, it could be an animal. And for others, I am also getting the feeling of calling out that this could be something like where you are either a mentor or a mentee kind of situation. Maybe you're like in school, something like that, where you're going to be meeting almost like a teacher who's going to be really changing a lot for you and your life. So let's go ahead and get started with today's reading. Remember to stay hydrated and also to jot things down if you want to be reminded later on this reading and what it is that you're seeing in the way of symbols or messages or perhaps time frames, because it could be that we see this person come up far later in the year, and I want to make sure that you don't forget that. So to get started, I'm going to go ahead and roll this Astro Dice a few times because we want to see if we can pull out either your zodiac sign or perhaps the person who's going to be coming into your life. Or it could be something like maybe this is the season that you're going to be meeting them, such as, say I rolled Gemini, it could mean that you might be meeting this person in the May-June timeframe. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with that. The first one we have coming out is a Libra. Next is a Leo. And lastly, we have Libra again. So we've got these double Libra here. So we've got this strong air sign energy coming through, this feeling of somebody who's very communicative, very friendly. They like to get along with everybody. With Leo, it's someone who's very passionate. They could be seen almost as brash, but it's because they're just so not even like out there. They're just so like passionate. Again, they're just so passionate and very excitable kind of personality, where you could be drawing someone to you that is having these qualities because they are trying to kind of whisk you away into this this new chapter of your life. So let's go ahead and get started with your reading. So you guys chose this clear crystal quartz point. I'm going to go ahead and show it off again. And in this is really going to help you find ultimate clarity. You're going to be able to see past all the illusions. You're going to be able to know exactly who this person is. Like when you meet them, you're going to be like, okay, I know that it's this person because it just feels so right, is kind of the feeling that I'm getting. So let's go ahead and get into your cards. I'm going to pull 4 cards to get you started. we tap into the new soulmate connection for group 1, please, Spirit? See the 8 of Swords in the reverse position. The Ace of Pentacles in the reverse position. The Lovers. And lastly, Strength in the reverse position. So, let me just get these set up. And then I will start to, I want to start with, obviously we're seeing here that it almost feels like kind of this slow start. It feels almost like you're holding yourself back because there's this pressure that you're putting on yourself that is causing you to kind of freak out a little bit. And there's a need for you to release this perfectionism. There's this need for you to release something that you may have lost out on in order to kind of attract this person toward you. So this loss could have possibly been a situation where normally Pentacles means like financial like things. So this could be some sort of like job situation where maybe you were offered a job and you didn't take it, or maybe you ended up leaving a workplace when you could have instead gone up in the company, things like that. But the feeling that I'm getting initially is this need for you to really be open to different perspectives and release any past pain that you may be holding onto. And for some of you, this is a situation involving another person. So you may still kind of be hung up on somebody that you're, for some of you, it kind of feels like dead and gone, where it feels like, you know, maybe you guys were even in a relationship and it didn't work out and you're still thinking about it. And for others, it was kind of a it was the lost opportunity in the sense of like, you guys were almost there, but then something happened. Either like they weren't interested in you, or you never confessed to them, or it was kind of like wrong time, wrong place sort of situation. But you're feeling kind of bummed out because of that. And that's the overall feeling that I'm getting, is that it feels like you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself and a lot of pain from whatever this last opportunity was, that you like don't want to miss the next one. However, the potential of missing out because you are thinking about the past is extremely high. So we want to make sure that we process things and remain open, kind of like what the 8 of Swords reversed is trying to tell us, releasing things and remaining open for those new opportunities that can be coming to you. Very obviously, we're seeing the Lovers here, so this could be very much a romantic soulmate connection that is going to be coming your way. Very, very obviously, we see these two people who are in a like loving embrace here. And so that could be something that could be beginning to form. And I feel like the moment you release whatever this past thing is that's been going on, it almost feels like it's been going on for a while, honestly. But the moment that you release this, it feels like this person just sort of just like swooshes into your life and just immediately like swoops you up, and you guys become very, very united with one another. It feels like all of your values are the same. It feels like you guys are very aligned on everything, and just in general that you two have this mutual love for one another that just feels very innocent and pure, honestly. It feels very much like a, not even necessarily like a whirlwind love, but it does just feel kind of like you recognize that this doesn't matter because this was brought so quickly to you. But I am feeling that the strength that you need is something that is going to be holding you back a little bit. It may even hold you back a little bit in the beginning of the relationship, because the strength reverse does talk about having this self-doubt and feeling like you maybe aren't good enough, or maybe you're not healed enough for this person, things like that. But I do believe that with this passionate, warm energy that I am getting from this person, I feel like they're going to try to help break down your walls a little bit and try to help instead build you up to a point where you can actually be confident and truly strong within yourself. I'm going to go ahead and pull some of these now. I might go back to tarot, but I want to pull these next to see if we can get any information on this person. So for group one's person, can we get some info on their person's character? The first one we're seeing is the Fox and Ivy, and it says adaptability. This kind of is hearkening to, I know we didn't pull them for the Astro Dice, but the Lovers is Gemini, and the Fox always reminds me of Gemini, especially with adaptability there. That could be someone to pay attention to as well. And also foxes are always known for being mischievous. So this could be somebody who has maybe very playful energy. I see that very heavily with Libra and Leo as well, is very playful, again, very chatty, very, not even necessarily in the bad way, but like hyperactive. Like there's somebody who can just go, like they're a bundle of energy kind of person. And adaptability, being very smart about the way they conduct themselves and the way that they can think through things. So when something gets thrown at them, they really don't have a lot of anxiety when it comes to that. They just sort of like pick it up and go kind of thing, is the feeling that I'm getting. Can we get some more spirit? Like two more. Feeling two more. This first one is the Goat and Willow, and it says overcoming obstacles. So this is interesting. I'm seeing this as both you needing to overcome obstacles, kind of like how we talked about before, is that need to release before you're able to move on. Kind of like how I was setting it here. It's almost the bridge between these two sets of cards here. And I also see them as someone who can help you in overcoming these obstacles. So I think that's sort of the theme, is I think that they are going to help with the healing of your past and how to get over whatever this previous loss was that you are needing to really work through. Get one more. This one here is the Chipmunk and Laurel with success. So I'm seeing this as a successful person. I'm seeing this as someone who, again, they kind of don't have a lot of anxiety when it comes to them needing to step up to the plate. They are somebody who feels like a leader. They really feel like they take control. They're very proactive, is kind of the feeling that I'm getting. They might even be the person that like confesses to you. Like they might be the person that's like, hey, you know what? I have a crush on you. You want to do this? Like it kind of feels like that sort of energy. Again, they're a very successful person, and I feel like this is also a strong indicator that you two are going to succeed with one another. Whatever way that looks to you is going to be different. Because for some of you, this could very much be like maybe you're not someone who is into being in a romantic relationship, or maybe you're already in a romantic relationship and you're like, no, look, I'm fine. I don't need a new person. I've got my person already. This could be just a connection with someone who's it's so strong that it's that unconditional sort of love, and it is very you're very attached and you do rely on one another, but maybe it doesn't have that like romantic or sexual kind of connotation to it. But for a good majority of you, I do see it as like a true romantic relationship. But for those of you who are already happily in one or aren't interested in that sort of thing, I do think that this is going to be a person that's coming in that is going to help you in learning how to be adaptable, how to overcome obstacles, and you guys are going to be successful while you do it. That's the main feeling that I'm getting from you guys. Go ahead and switch over to this deck real fast. Gonna get some more messages about Group 1's person. We have Waning Crescent that says, I pause in stillness and reflect. I suppose I should show it off. So you needing to take time to really look back again at this situation. I really feel like that's the catalyst. It almost feels like this person will be ushered into your life in a way that will be pretty quick too, when you have that chance to either forgive yourself for something or to truly move on from a previous situation. Can I get one more? And then third eye, we have intuition and expansion on here. So this is someone who, I see them as very clever too, kind of like how we were saying with foxes. Someone who's very clever, very, again, resourceful, quick-witted. With that third eye, there's someone who, they know the things that you've been through, or they can relate to the things that you've been through, and that's what makes it so easy for them to help you resolve any past issues or overcoming obstacles, is because they have sort of had almost a similar like life to yours. It almost feels parallel. Like when you guys connect with one another, you're able to just like prattle because you're like, oh wait, yeah, like this, and then this happened to me, and blah, blah, blah. And like, it just feels very familiar and similar to one another. So yeah, you kind of give off this feeling of as if you've known this person for a long time, even if you haven't. I feel really called to pull a couple more of these. I'm gonna pull 2 more of these. So can we get any last messages for Group 1 about this person, this soulmate connection? This first one here coming out is the 2 of Pentacles. So this is talking about balance. Balance, we've got Libra, so it could be again that sort of person who is going to balance out your life, or a need for you to balance things out before you get to them. Also making sure you make this person a priority, because I feel like they're going to make you a heavy priority. So when you start noticing someone begin to put more time and energy into you, know that if you put that same time and energy back to them, you're going to be able to reap like these strong rewards here. Because I'm getting this feeling like it could be that you don't immediately recognize it, and because you're unsure of yourself, like how we saw it in the Strength reverse with having that self-doubt, you might be afraid of whether or not this could be the person. But we want to trust in this like raw crystal quartz that we were talking about, being able to be transparent, know exactly who this person is. I feel like you've got such a strong vibe on how to recognize who this person is that it's not going to be like a secret. You might just kind of be trying to pull the wool over your eyes a little bit because you're afraid of this progress. So just be very careful about that during this time when you meet this person. Is make sure you balance your time and energy with them, because I really do think it's going to lead to something very powerful for you. I'll get one more. We have the 6 of Cups. So this card talks about, really talks about childhood memories. It talks about sort of like thinking back with nostalgia. It does talk about innocence. So I remember saying how this felt like a very innocent, like lover's card to me, where it feels almost like you have this sudden rush of energy, like you're almost like a kid again kind of thing, being with this person. It feels very loving and very easy. It doesn't feel like a hard time being with this person or loving this person. This can also talk about reunions. So for some of you, this could even be a reunion with someone that you knew when you were younger. And maybe it's one of those situations where they've been kind of swaying in and out of your life for some time. And maybe there just was never a point where you guys connected so extremely. And this is finally going to be that time. I feel like I remember us talking a little bit too about the potential of having lost a certain opportunity. And maybe this was an opportunity with this person where you guys wanted to get together or you weren't sure and it just didn't quite happen. So maybe there is this almost this feeling of it's finally going to swing in that direction, but it still feels like there's something else you have to release. So if your situation is that you're hung up on a person and they're coming back into your life kind of thing, it could be that there's something that's more deeply rooted that is really tying you down. It feels super emotional. Like it feels like it's hard for me to kind of like speak out exactly what I want to be saying in this instance. And normally I always take that when it comes to like you're afraid of seeing your own situation for what it is. Kind of like how we see in the figure here, they're bound and have like their eyes are covered and there's all the swords around them. So there's that perceived threat that's there, but they don't want to see it or they can't see it kind of thing. It kind of feels like, again, there's this need for you to release yourself from that. And again, that's when all this is going to start moving. So just know that whatever this connection is, it does feel very sweet. It does feel very soft. And it feels like this is the right timing. Kind of like how we talked about with nostalgia. It feels like just everything is aligning to finally get you to this point. I'm going to pull one last set of cards for you guys today. Can we get one final message for group one? Ooh, that one just flew right out. So this one here says, you live in a waking dream all day and all night. So play the role you desire and create the world you want. So you're kind of the creator in this instance. You're the one who's going to have the power to bring this person into your life. Again, this person could be very, very forward, and they could be the person that may initiate the potential lover's situation that could be happening for you. But I do feel like you are the one that needs to take the first few steps. And then when you show that you are ready, this person is going to like rush up to you and they're going to be making themselves very loud, very clear. They're going to be very decisive when it comes to their interest in you and things like that. So if that's something that you're looking for, if that's something that you want, then just know that you are the person that has the power to bring that about. Even if they're the person who approaches you, there's something that you like. I feel like you listening to this, you know exactly what it is that needs to be done before you can truly move on from whatever this past situation is. And I think a lot of it has to do with forgiveness. So I think this is either you needing to forgive yourself or you need to forgive another person, and that's going to help with that release, and it's going to help with being able to pull away all of those shackles so you can open yourself up to this beautiful new soulmate connection. So thank you guys so much for getting to the end of your reading. If you liked this reading, remember to leave a like on the video and also to subscribe to join the Crow Coven. And also, if you did get this far in your reading and this resonates with you, I would love to hear from you in the comments if this kind of sounds like your situation and if you are excited for what is going to be coming ahead of you. And also let me know by putting a little like flower emoji, because we've got flowers there as well as the 6 of Cups. Put a flower emoji down below to let myself and others know that you got to the end of your reading. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Hello group 2 and welcome to your reading for today. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about what your next soulmate connection is going to be. So this can be something where there's either someone who's already been in your life who is suddenly going to have a much deeper bond with you. You guys are going to kind of form something that's much more mature than what it has been in the past, or you could potentially be meeting a new person that's going to be coming into your life as a soulmate connection. So it could be a new friendship that could be forming, or even a romantic relationship, or even something like a new job opportunity that leads you to some new contact point that is going to be much deeper than normal relationships. So before we get into the reading for today, remember to get yourself hydrated, have something on hand as you're watching this video, and also something to take down notes with so you don't have to keep rewatching this video throughout the months or weeks or however long it ends up taking to find this connection. Write down all those things that are calling out to you and that feel important to you. So before we get fully into the tarot portion, I did want to roll this Astro dice. We're going to see if we can pick up their sun, moon, or rising sign. So let's go ahead and roll this a few times. The first one we're seeing is Leo. Next is Leo as well. So we could possibly be dealing with a fire sign. There's also Libra coming out. This could also be kind of the time frame too as to when someone could be appearing in your life. So it could be either Leo or Libra season where they make their appearance. So you guys chose this honey calcite to represent you in today's video. I'm just going to show that off once more real fast before I set it aside. And let's go ahead and get right into this. Spirit, can we please connect with group 2, and can we get a understanding or a feeling for their next soulmate connection? The first card we're seeing is the Knight of Cups coming out. This could automatically lead to some level of romantic or emotionally deep connection. We also have the Knight of Pentacles. Could be an office romance. The Empress in the reverse position. And lastly, the Magician. Ooh, there's some powerful energy here that we're seeing. It's interesting that these first two knights are facing off toward one another. It gives this feeling of needing to look within oneself and really kind of determine exactly what this connection is. It almost feels like you know this person already from what I'm seeing here in the remaining cards, but it does kind of feel almost as if this is a connection that you, not that you've thrown aside or anything, it feels like a connection that you just haven't fully explored. And it could just be because neither one of you have expressed this interest in one another, or if you have, one party was not quite looking in the right direction, and now you guys are kind of shifting to that point, is the immediate feeling that I'm getting from these cards. I also feel like you guys are on a similar level as one another. How we're seeing the two knights and their eyes are meeting here at level. It doesn't feel like one is being held aloft above another. It feels very much like you guys have this kind of wavelength and vibe that you strive to be at, and it does come across as you start noticing that. You almost start realizing, hey, you know, like this person is truly on my level. We operate the same way. Or even if you don't necessarily operate the same way, it just feels almost like this is someone you just really mesh with. We are seeing someone who is potentially very, very attractive to you in that Knight of Cups. It deals with someone who does have a lot of beauty surrounding them. They could perhaps be someone who they not necessarily vain, but like they keep up with their appearance. They care to put time and energy into their appearance. They come across as like a knight in shining armor kind of person, where they just seem like the whole package kind of thing. They have a lot of charm about them. They have a lot of emotional stability about them as well. And the Knight of Pentacles along with it gives me that similar feeling of being someone who is, while they do put a lot of care and stock into what they look like, they also deeply care about following a certain path. So they may be someone who's very dedicated to their work, or they could be someone who they put in the work. So say, even if there's someone who, like, it doesn't seem like a stable career path, say they do their own like freelance like art or writing or something like that, they put in the time and effort it takes to consistently produce this content, and that is able to give them this way forward that is just very successful for them. It's something that they keep putting a lot of time and energy into. This could be almost like a collaboration situation too between the pair of you. For some of you, it's that you both recognize the strengths that you two have, and you see that you're both extremely similar, but because you weren't seeing that before, when you start to really open your eyes and realize it, you guys kind of come together and mesh in a way that is able to be very beneficial for the pair of you, is almost that feeling that I'm getting. Again, it's that same wavelength kind of thing. You guys really feel like you're either doing something similar or you're trying to take a similar path and approach to a certain situation. And it's going to, overall, if you allow yourself to open up to the soulmate connection, it feels like a very strong bond that can come through with it. I feel like you've been kind of ignoring this a little bit, and it could be because you feel almost like you're blocking out your creative side of things. Like maybe you haven't gone down this path yet, but it's always interested you, and you're like, I just don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I'm good enough kind of thing. And you're going to start to realize that you have this power. These two really go hand in hand here, where you could maybe be someone who you almost feel too dependent on what other people think and feel about you. So when you produce something, like say you make content, your need for them to compliment you can kind of get in the way from you simply wanting to create for yourself. And that's kind of what's been holding you back. That's kind of what's been holding back this connection here. Is there's something, even if it's not creating content, this could be you just even putting yourself out there in like the workplace. This could be you putting yourself out there when it comes to like a job search kind of thing. So whatever way that this relates to you and your situation, there's something that you're holding yourself back from. But the moment that you kind of take that opportunity and go with it, you're going to open up a whole bunch more for yourself. We're seeing here in the Magician that you have the skills and the power, this sort of raw natural talent almost, to be able to get this done. But there is a need for action. There's a need for you to push yourself forward into something. So I feel like you're going to be the person, you're like almost the creator in this instance, where you're going to be the person that launches this soulmate connection forward. And it's going to be when you take the time to look within yourself and you're able to turn this Empress moment to the upright position. You being able to rely on yourself and being able to feel fully in control of what it is that you want out of life, is that feeling that I'm getting. So let's go ahead and pull a few more cards. I want to see, kind of looking into your soulmate connection with this person in particular, can we get some idea of who they are, what they're like, things like that? The first thing that we're seeing coming out is the boar and pumpkin, and it says confidence. So this is someone who, they know who they are. They know exactly what they want out of life. They don't have to worry about what other people are going to think about them. I feel this very passionate energy behind them. If they are a Leo, they could be someone who's very headstrong and someone who knows exactly what they want and exactly the steps that they need to take in order to head into the right direction. The next ones that we pulled out, these actually came out together. So the first one here is the sheep and blackberry with devotion. So this is someone who's very devoted to their craft, and I feel like they would be very devoted to you as well. They feel like someone who kind of, they put their all into situations. So when they have this opportunity to really put themselves out there, to grow a new connection, to help boost someone up, it almost feels like they throw their entire heart into it, because that's really the only way that they kind of know how to be themselves. It feels like a very passionate and strong sort of energy where for some people it can almost put them off from them because they almost feel like they're doing too much. But this is someone who, they're just so confident within themselves and feel so strongly for their growth and for the growth of those around them that it can sometimes be intimidating. And so this person may even come off to you as someone who maybe they seem a little stoic and seem a little standoffish because they're kind of in their own little world doing their own little thing, and it's almost like nerve-wracking to kind of break through that. But then the moment that you do realize that they are a far more positive person than what people may initially think them as, you're going to really open that up and realize that from them. The last one I pulled out was the frog and lotus, and it says metamorphosis. So they're there to help you change, is the overall feeling that I'm getting. There's a need for you to break out of your shell. There's a need for you to rely on yourself, to tap into your inner skills. And I believe that they are going to help you in this level of transformation. They may have gone through a similar transformation as well. Like maybe they weren't always this like brightly confident sort of person, and this is more of a new thing to them. But I feel like they most likely have gone through a similar change, and that is what causes this sort of like level of attraction between the pair of you, as they're able to recognize that in you, and they want to kind of help you grow within yourself and help bring you out of your shell and go through that change. Let's see if we can get any more messages about them. Any other information that you would like group 2 to know about Spirit as they kind of go through the next couple months? We have Pisces coming out. It says imaginative, empathetic, and adaptable. We're seeing adaptable in 2 separate things as well with Pisces, as well as the Magician here. This is about someone who can be very resourceful. So this can either be kind of a calling to you where you need to make sure that you recognize your resourcefulness, or it could be someone who they seem almost as if they can kind of push through anything, because if there's an obstacle in their way, they know exactly how to kind of break past that, is the feeling that I'm getting. Also, the like empathetic is again in touch with their emotions, someone who I think is on a highly emotionally intelligent level, and you can recognize that easily in order to pinpoint exactly who this person is, who this soulmate connection is. We also have in here, it says heart's ease. It says learn by fully feeling. So making sure that you don't stop whatever this connection is in the beginning and opening yourself up a bit more. It feels like that being able to kind of blossom for another person and open yourself up to another person. Again, you guys are seeing eye to eye now. There's something that changes, it feels like, in a short-ish span of time that's going to give you this kind of like confidence and this strength to open yourself up to this person. Maybe you've been waiting kind of for a sign from either them or just someone else in particular. You've been waiting to kind of get the green light with this person. Ooh, we have solar plexus coming out with ambitious and self-confidence. So again, this is kind of reading into this feeling of this person does feel very ambitious. They do feel like someone who, they have a lot of energy. I keep like, I tend to like ramble a lot, obviously, when I'm doing these videos, but it feels almost like I can't talk fast enough in order to explain exactly how this person is feeling, because I feel like they're either a fast talker as well, or there's somebody who they just have so much passion and so many ideas that it kind of spills out. And that's kind of this overall feeling I've been getting from this person. So really look around for those people in your life. If you're kind of confused as to whoever this person is, these are the signs to be looking out for. Look for somebody who they get very, very passionate when it comes to things that they believe in and they want to share with you. And they also are very open to listening as well on the other side, and they're devoted to also making you feel heard. Can I get one more, please, Spirit? Any other messages that we want for group 2? We're also seeing first quarter, and it says, I open doorways to possibility. So I feel like that kind of hinges a little bit on both of you, in the sense that you are going to be, I think, the person who makes the first move with this either friendship, relationship, soulmate, connection. I feel like you're going to be the person that kind of, you're recognizing them and you choose to open that door in order to make those moves and make those changes. How we were feeling here that there's something going on that you're holding back from. You have to take in your natural power and step into it. There's this change that you need to go through. There's some change that's happening that is going to open you up to something completely new and very fresh to you. And they're going to be right there with you. They're going to kind of help you in this journey, is this overall feeling that I'm getting. So this next chapter with this soulmate kind of feels like one that's going to last for quite some time. And it does feel very powerful. It feels like it's kind of like, if you're watching this, you're listening to it and it's resonating with you, you're kind of like nodding your head like, oh, okay, like I know, I totally get this person, I understand what's happening, kind of thing. It doesn't feel like this is going to make you lost, is the idea that I'm getting. And then I wanted to pull one last message for you guys, and this one sort of flew out. So this one says, your superpower is the ability to choose what you tune into. So choose creatively now. So again, kind of that same vibe that I was talking about earlier a little bit, where you feel like you're the creator of this destiny. You feel like you're the person that's really pushing yourself forward instead of relying on another person to make these decisions for you and for you to like have your life be led and you're just kind of following along. You're instead choosing to take that first step, and as you do, that's going to really open up that doorway to that person, to that new connection, all that chance to be able to collaborate with one another and create something new. Because it feels like the overall feeling I'm getting is that you guys are creating something with one another. So look within yourself, look within your opportunities, and try to pinpoint exactly who it is that's in your life that's trying to help you along this path. So thank you guys so much for getting to the end of your reading. If you liked this video or it resonated with you, remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more tarot readings in the future. And also, if you did get this far, leave a sun emoji. We're seeing a lot of suns, how we had them in both of these cards, and then also with like Leo, that bright, fiery, passionate energy. Place a sun in the comment box to let myself and others know that you got this far in your reading. And again, thank you guys so much for watching the end of your video, and I will see you in the next one. Hello group 3, and welcome to your reading for today. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about your next soulmate connection. So this could be either a situation where you have been friends with someone for a little while, and maybe you guys just haven't really deepened that friendship to a certain level, but this begins to open up that door and that possibility. Or this could be a completely new connection that could be coming into your life and really developing and fashioning itself in a way that just seems like really just like magical. It's just such a quick and sudden, deep connection that is going to change the course of your life, of how you feel about things or how you experience life around you. So before we get into the reading, I wanted to make sure to remind you guys to grab something to hydrate with. We want to make sure that you stay hydrated during the reading, and also grab yourself something to take down notes with. So then instead of having to watch this repeatedly, you can instead write down the things that resonate with you, that are important to you, and look back on those things. So let's go ahead and set the tarot aside for just a second, because I want to roll this astro dice to see if we can either pull out their sun, moon, or rising, or yours, or perhaps we can pull out when you may be meeting your soulmate. So perhaps this is, like, say we roll Gemini, it could be in the May, June timeframe you may be meeting them. So Gemini season kind of thing. The first one we are seeing come out is Leo. Next we have, sorry, it went very, very far, but we did get Gemini. And lastly, we have Virgo. So I'll set that one aside. So let's go ahead and get into the cards now. So you guys chose this raw crystal quartz. I'm going to go ahead and show it off once more. Beautiful crystal here. I just got the feeling of, when I said natural to the natural quartz, it did feel like this is something that comes extremely naturally into your life as well. It doesn't feel like an artificial friendship. This is going to feel very genuine, almost from the get-go. This feeling of you aren't afraid to put yourself out there for that person to see you, to like really truly perceive you, and vice versa. It almost feels like you guys don't have to have masks on when you talk with one another, is the overall feeling I'm getting from you guys initially. So let's go ahead and get into your cards. So as I was shuffling, even before asking Spirit, we do see that the Nine of Swords reversed is coming out. So I do want to keep that card. It was interesting, it just sort of flew out. Please, Spirit, can we get 3 more cards for group 3 on their person, their next soulmate connection? A few more just decided to fall out, which is really interesting right now because the last 2 groups that I did not have any cards that were springing out like this. So there's some haste, there's some movement, it feels like, within this. Okay. Ooh, this feels very, very strong. This feels very intimidating, actually, this immediate reading. So let me just pick up a couple of cards that fell on the floor because I really want to talk about these in a second. I'm going to set them aside though. So the overall feeling that I'm getting from this reading is almost this feeling of, it's giving me this sort of journey that I feel like the pair of you are either currently going through or that you need to go through in order to make this connection truly formulate. Again, how we were seeing here in that natural quartz discussion I was talking about, to where it feels like you don't have to have any masks. It does feel like you guys are almost seeing each other at your like lowest point. And because you're seeing each other at this point, there isn't any need for you to feel like you have to put on this false act in front of one another. It feels like because you are reaching out to one another at this time, that there is some level of healing that is going to be going on because of the pair of you making this connection. This is to say that try not to get to the point to where you are just like trauma dumping on one another. Don't let that be why you guys formulate your bond to the point where you're hurting one another, because there are times where trauma dumping is, it could be okay in doses, but it can also get to the point to where you guys are actually causing real hurt because you guys are bonding simply on the fact that you went through similar pains, instead of being able to boost each other up from the genuine bond that you have. I hope that makes sense to people. I have been there on both sides, so no judgment if you are someone who talks about your past, because I've absolutely been there before. It's just that this feels like a more mature sharing of information, and because you share this information, you do fully see each other. I hope that makes sense, because I want to move on, but it just feels like you being raw and emotionally open is going to be the thing that really pushes you guys forward into this growth and this healing. And that's kind of the overall thing that I want you guys to take from this. We are seeing strength. We're seeing this sort of level of courage and compassion that you have for one another. It really feels like a strong bond is formed because the two of you choose to make time for one another. You choose to really balance out each other's time with your other priorities. So this is going to be someone in your life who you are emotionally very raw with. You feel a lot stronger when you're with them. You two make time for one another. And also, in the end, you manage to balance the scales. And why I'm taking this so strongly from this justice here is that this gives the feeling of almost like you guys, not that you're trying to compare each other's like pain or anything, but when you talk, it evens you guys out. So it evens out your mental state. It evens out the level of grief that you're feeling. Like you're like, finally, somebody understands. It's this connection that is giving you this overall feeling of being fulfilled and being heard, if that makes sense. And justice can very easily, this can almost read as kind of if there was a breakup or some sort of like divorce situation, it can be this reliance on someone who went through something similar, and you guys are able to come together and they may help you through this like court type thing, because justice does deal with court system stuff. But it just feels like whatever is going on, there is almost this yin yang balance that we're seeing. We're seeing the infinity symbol here in strength. We do have the 2 pentacles here, and we do have the even scales here. So it feels like you guys, again, you're on the same level. You feel like you complement one another extremely well. So don't be afraid to be open. Only go with what you're comfortable with, though, in sharing with another person. But I feel like you're going to recognize this person simply because of you guys' similarities and how they make you feel when you connect with one another. The other 2 cards I wanted to talk about that flew out, this is very important to me, and why I feel like you guys are just going to complement each other so well, is the Sun flew out and the Star flew out. So we're seeing this sun, this like daytime, nighttime kind of situation happening as well. So it could very much be like they pull from kind of the same energy. Again, the sun is a star. They're pulling from the same sort of warmth, positivity, hope, believing deeply in something, believing in a deepness of healing and positivity kind of thing. Really feels like a prominent journey that you're going to be going through. So this is a very strong and amazing reading that we've got so far. We have 4 major arcanas here that are surrounding you. So just know that you are absolutely going to recognize who this person is. So if they aren't in your life already, when they come to you in your life, it's gonna hit. Like, you guys are gonna see each other for what you are, and you're gonna be so drawn to one another as well. I want to pull a few more cards to see if we can get any other information about the type of person they are, or any other messages that you need to hear about this person. So the first one we're seeing is the quail and gooseberry, and it says anticipation. So it could be that maybe you are anticipating this person coming into your life. Maybe this sort of just sounds so magical to you and just so extremely healing that you do think and wait for them, or maybe they're waiting for you as well. It could be very much that maybe they're just on the outer reaches of your life, and there's something that's going to happen that's going to bring you to them, and vice versa. Maybe they're waiting to make a move. Perhaps this is someone that you know and they haven't reached out just yet. There's something that's keeping you guys from one another, but I do feel like it's going to tip in your favor shortly. 2 more cards came out, so I'm going to actually read them both together. These will be the last 2 that we pull from this deck. The first one we're seeing is the goat and willow, and it says overcoming obstacles. So yeah, it really feels like there's some situation or something that you guys are going to be going through with one another, and it feels like you're here to help each other. This doesn't feel like, for people that kind of perked up when I did talk about this being like a breakup situation or a divorce thing, I don't see this as the person that you're breaking up with. This is a new person who is separate from this, who is going to be coming in and balancing your life. For those of you who are like, I really wish things would work out with my ex, I don't see this as being something that's going to happen. This feels very much like it just feels almost like you two have gone through something similar, and you're going to be feeding love and energy into one another. Even if this doesn't become a romantic thing with the soulmate bond, it feels like you guys are able to see each other so deeply because of the similarities that you went through. And there's going to be that strong healing journey. Again, overcoming these obstacles, there's that similarity. There's something going on that you two will work through together that will bring you guys to the point of peace in the end. The last one we're seeing is the lizard and pitcher plant, and this says stagnation on it. So my thoughts behind the stagnation, it does kind of give this feeling of, despite progress being made, we're seeing anticipation and stagnation here. We're seeing this slowing down almost, to the point of maybe things had been rushing so much in your life that you're getting to this point of almost bringing it back to a foundation level and building yourself back up from this starting point that you're at. And the feeling that I'm getting here from the stagnation card is that this could potentially be either your feelings or their feelings in the current situation that you guys are at. It feels like right now your life, like, it isn't progressing quite in the way that you thought it was going to, or you feel like, is there nothing more beyond where I'm at now, because this Nine of Swords deeply talks about having this hopelessness and having this extreme depression and torment from a situation, from believing that everyone is out to get you. But then we're seeing such a strong change when it comes to the sun and the star, and the fact that these two flew out and really wanted to make themselves known in this reading gives me this feeling that you guys, when you do eventually come together, because we're seeing anticipation, stagnation. Right now it's paused, and there's something that needs to happen to jump beyond that. You will overcome these obstacles, and you're going to find this passion and progress, hope coming for you. I hope that makes sense. I had to really kind of process exactly how these two made me feel, and I think it's the current situation of what you guys are in and how you maybe feel about what you're currently going through. Let's go ahead and pull one last card for you guys here. One more message. Interesting. So this card here says, your superpower is the ability to choose what you tune into. So choose creatively now. And why I thought this was so interesting is because I actually pulled this exact same card for group 2. So if you had any pull toward group 2, it may be interesting to go back and watch that for any further messages, if only because there's this theme of being drawn to a person and working with another person in group 2's reading as well. So there may be some connection there, but that one is much more deliberate when it comes to who that person is, their personality kind of thing. Whereas this person came through a little bit quieter. This feels like someone who they may not be the person who is like shouting from the rooftops, like what they're doing, who they are kind of thing. They feel almost a little bit more subtle in the way that they kind of go through life. And that isn't to say that they are like boring or anything like that. It just simply feels almost like they have been kind of waiting for you, and they've been waiting for this connection to be able to be made so you two could both go through this sort of healing process with one another. It's kind of the feeling. It almost feels like they've been sitting on this and waiting. I want to pull one more card because I'm extremely interested. Spirit, can we get an overall vibe of like kind of group 3's connection with the soulmate? Can we get an idea of perhaps if this person is going to be the one reaching out? I'm going to pull 2 cards. Left side is going to be their feelings, and then right's going to be yours. Interesting. Left side here says heart's ease, and it says learn by fully feeling. So a need to open up, a need to talk about themselves and their feelings. What's interesting is that also was in group 2. And then crown. Okay. And then in crown, this says connected and elevated. So I was feeling like, I know it sounded a little wild when I was saying it, but this feels like their energy, and kind of like they've been sitting in it for a while, and maybe they don't have the mental fortitude to be reaching out, but then this side felt like you, and connecting it with this as well, this crown, the fact that it says connected again, this feels like you are going to make the push into this friendship, into this soulmate relationship. There's going to be a moment where you make a decision to start a conversation with this person. And that's going to be kind of the way that you guys end up really, really connecting. So this is going to be something that you push forward on, which that was the feeling that I was getting. It almost feels like you because you're going through something, you want support and you try to reach out for support, and they've been kind of quietly sitting aside. That's the overall feeling that I'm getting. So you are going to be the driving factor for this. So don't be afraid to be that driving factor. Don't be afraid to be the person that starts the conversation, because I think that there is this level where you being in control is going to give you a lot more power when it comes to your confidence in discussing things with this person, and you're going to feel a lot more open and a lot more able to actually express yourself. So anyway, thank you guys so much for putting up with that last little bit. I was sitting there trying to process exactly how you guys were going to come into union with one another. So just know that this is kind of on you. And if you guys got this far in your reading, if you liked it or it resonated with you, remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more tarot pick a card readings in the future. And also put a unicorn emoji in the comment box below to let myself and others know that you got to the end of your reading, group 3. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Hello, group 4, and welcome to your reading for today. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about your next soulmate connection. So this could possibly be a situation where you've had a friendship for a long time with someone that suddenly over the next few days, weeks, months, really deepens and blossoms into a soulmate connection. Or this could be a new connection that's coming into your life that is going to either present itself as a deep friendship, or perhaps a new relationship, or even something to do with like perhaps you starting a new job and someone takes you under their wing, and then you just are able to learn so much from this person. It can be anything along those lines. So let's go ahead and get into this for today. So I'm going to set the tarot aside for just a second, because the first thing I'd like to do is roll this astro dice, because I want to see if we can pull out either your sun, moon, or rising, or more preferably the person who is going to be coming into your life, or even maybe the season when you're going to meet them. So say I roll Gemini, you could be meeting this person within the May or June time frame. So let's go ahead and give this a few rolls. The first one we are seeing come up is Capricorn. Woo, that one went forever. And the next one we're seeing is Taurus. And then lastly, we are seeing Libra. So I'm going to go ahead and set that aside. And then before we get into the tarot, we are going to show off this pyrite that you guys chose to represent you. So beautiful, so shiny. And I will set that over here. So with the pyrite, it is known as fool's gold, so it can be a situation where maybe you thought this friendship or relationship was going to go one way, but then it goes completely a different way. It's like when you first look at it, you're like, oh, that is somebody I would absolutely be a friend with, kind of thing. Like we're just going to hit it off. We're just going to be friends. And then like weeks or months down the line, you're like, wait a minute, I have a crush on this person, kind of thing. It almost feels kind of like there's a sharp turn that can change the projection of this connection. So let's go ahead and ask Spirit about group 4's person. Can we get some information, Spirit, about this soulmate connection? How's it going to manifest? What is going on? What do we need to know about it? And I'm dropping every card in the deck. Hold up. Let's not do that. Can I please just get some information? All right. The first we're seeing come out is this 2 of Wands in the reverse position. The Tower. I see you. Queen of Swords. And 2 of Swords. Okay. I don't know why. Don't tell the other groups, but I really want to pull 2 more. I don't know why. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Temperance. Yes. and Three of Cups. Beautiful. Okay. So it's interesting. This does tell quite the story. And I feel like this is so funny when the fact that like we kind of pulled that message out of the pyrite, because it kind of feels a little similar to what I was saying. There is this feeling almost like there's a journey that you're going to be going on where you have to make some sort of decision about something, but because you haven't had all of the information laid out in front of you, this new journey that you're going on is going to be extremely hard for you to make a deep decision on. It's almost like you have so many choices being presented to you that you aren't sure about what exactly it is that you want to be focused on. And that could be a very good problem to have. It could be great to realize that you have so many avenues that you can go down, but at the same time, it can be a little, it can be overwhelming. It can just simply be too much for you to try and process all at once. And the thing that I see about this is that you almost don't get to have a say in making this choice initially, because I feel like there's something that's going to go on in your life that is going to make the decision for you. So let's do it for example. So for example, you are sitting there trying to make a decision about what you want to do when you get out of school. You're trying to plan your future, but you're not quite sure exactly where you want to go because you're afraid of jumping into one job and realizing it's not for you. And because of this, you start looking for you just cast like kind of a wide net, and you're like, this is what I want to do. I'm going to put out all of these applications and everything. And what ends up happening is it feels almost as if things get flipped upside down, to where instead of you having put out all these applications and hearing back from them, you're instead going to get offered something completely different. It's going to be from a completely different person in a completely different field that is going to just sweep you from under your feet, and you're going to be like, wait, what? This is not at all what I thought was going to happen. And when you reach that point, it brings you to a point where you now have to make another decision, and you're even more blind by that decision. The feeling that I'm getting is this person almost feels like they cause this tower moment that's in your life. The tower moment is this very sudden change in your life that you almost have no control over. So no matter what you could have possibly planned for and tried to strive toward, there's going to be something that happens that I think this person causes that is going to really just flip everything on its head. Like, it could potentially be that this person decides to say, hey, I've had a crush on you for like 4 years. Like, I don't know why I said 4. That was so strange. They're just like out of nowhere, just like, hey, I like you. We should pursue this. And that's going to just completely have you be like, wait, what? You didn't realize, you didn't think that this was at all going to be what was going to happen. And because of this sudden like revelation that comes about, there's this need for you to process and make this new change in your life, or make this new decision, I guess, because you aren't certain about how you feel. Now, the feeling that I'm getting overall on this person is they seem like someone who is very confident in themselves. They're a quick thinker. They may be somebody who is just very outspoken because they know kind of their purpose in life. They kind of know what they want to do and what they want to strive for. And that can be a little intimidating because of how almost like with it they appear to be. And I feel like for some of you, this might be scary if this is relating at all, because this does feel almost like this is someone who is in your friend group. How we're seeing here in this Three of Cups is this this friendship, this community of people who have come together, and they already have a basis of friendship with one another. And so I feel like there's something, you know what, for some of you, this could even potentially be a breakup that's happening with someone else, and this person recognizes it as their chance to finally tell you. Like maybe they've been on the outskirts and they're finally like, you know what, this is gonna be my time. I'm gonna jump in here and say, hey, you know what, I like you. I've had a crush on you for however long, kind of thing. And then you suddenly have to make this decision between like, I still have feelings for my ex, or I don't know what to do beyond this point, but now this person is telling me that they like me all of a sudden. Because this is very much, despite her being the one who is wielding the swords, she is still blindfolded, so she can't see through and see those choices. She's kind of in this weird stalemate sort of place, and her emotions are very blocked. So this feels almost like you. It feels like whatever situation it is that you're in, when this person comes to you after this tower moment, or they cause this tower moment, you have to take time to pause and think. And if you like this person in the same sort of way, make sure you let them know that you do need time to process your emotions. I think that's very important, is that maybe this person is so confident in themselves that they feel like, hey, of course they're gonna say that they like me back, or they're going to be excited that I reveal this to them, but they don't recognize the fact that you do need to go through some sort of grieving and or processing moment. Though I do feel like they have this like concern for you, and they have this friendship and love for you already here, that they are willing to be patient, because in Temperance we do see someone who is very patient and very balanced within themselves. So I think it's kind of one of those situations where they do or say something that does flip you on your head a little bit, and it kind of shakes you up, but then you're able to communicate your needs with them, and you two respect each other a lot more because of that. It seems like a very like almost like a funny, like how I was laughing, it feels almost like a of course this would happen like kind of situation. That's the moment that I feel. This doesn't feel like a scary reading. This feels very much like, while you have a lot of unknowns and you're not quite sure exactly what's going on in your future, it does feel like whatever this connection is, it feels playful, it feels energetic, and it does feel like a connection where you two can learn a lot from one another and have a good standing at the end of the day. Can we get some more information on Group 4's person? This is a very funny sort of situation, so I want to know a little bit more about them. First card we are seeing is the Eel and Iris, and this says safety. So this is someone who you either feel very safe around, or they are trying to come at this as a place for like you having a safe space. Like they don't want you to feel as if you're being pressured in any way. So don't feel bad if you have to put up boundaries, or if you have to tell them, hey, you know, I have to do some thinking real fast. The next we're seeing is the Trout and Lily of the Valley with Purification. So it's someone who does want to come in, and they want to really kind of be that filter for you. They want you to be able to rely on them by you giving them your thoughts, whether they're negative or pessimistic or whatnot, and they want to help try to point you in the more positive direction of things. They do feel like they have a good heart, and they're coming from a place of friendship and love. So that's the overall vibe I'm getting from this person, is maybe they don't recognize quite what you're going through when it comes to the mental stuff, but they are trying, and they are willing to give you the time and space that you need, and they want to be there truly for you. We're also seeing two waterbound creatures here with the trout and the eel. So we could possibly be seeing a water sign. Can we get one more card? Lastly, we have the wolf and rosehip, and this one says guardianship. So I do get this overall feeling of someone who wants to like protect. It's this overall feeling of someone who just has this this like energy about them where they want to protect you during this time, something that you're going through, or if they caused it. They don't want you to feel rushed. They don't want you to feel pressured in any way. Again, temperance has that patience. So it's kind of this feeling of, I've already waited this long to express myself to you. I don't mind waiting a little bit more if you have to make a decision. So don't feel that harsh pressure or that feeling of being a burden, because they almost give off this overall energy of, it's kind of like the teddy bear kind of like person, the like gentle giant kind of person, where they feel like they could look really intimidating, or it could be like scary to like see them in a way that is like one way when you see them from afar, but then when you get up close, they're just obviously like that really gentle soul / like someone who does want to give you that time and space kind of thing. I'm gonna go ahead and shuffle these and get just the last few messages. This one flew out. In amethyst, it says intuition. So I think you recognizing who this person is going to be you tapping into yourself and just really like thinking about your options. Again, we had kind of the feeling that this is somebody who could potentially be in your friend group. Even if it's not someone who's in your friend group, it's someone who could slip easily into being your friend. It could be someone who is maybe in a similar community. So say there's something like a certain hobby that you really like to delve deep into. They could kind of fall into that same hobby. And so even if you don't necessarily know them, maybe you've seen them around, or maybe this is why you met, is this hobby. And even if you guys don't sort of partake in it anymore, it's something that you do have a connection with. So in order to recognize who this person is, I want you to sort of just sit down within yourself and kind of think on the people in your life and kind of just narrow it down from there. Because I think this is going to be an obvious person with the way they've sort of been described. It does feel like a very apparent person. Also, they could be someone who is very intuitive within themselves, in the sense of they know what they want, and they also aren't afraid of sharing that. Maybe they kind of just know when you're off. Like maybe they happen to message you at around the time where you're just feeling down and you're like, what in the world? Why? And they're like, something just told me that you weren't feeling good, so I wanted to reach out. That kind of overall energy. And lastly, which this is interesting and something I want you to keep note of, is we have a Sagittarius, and it says spontaneous, energetic, and intellectual. And Sagittarius is also ruled by temperance. So you're seeing Sagittarius twice. That could be another sign to kind of look out for during this time. So this does give off the feeling of someone who could almost potentially be rash with the way that they make a decision of, perhaps they tell you suddenly, hey, I like you, and then your whole world is flipped upside down. That kind of gives me this energy with that fire sign energy coming out. Someone who is quick to want to go on a journey, quick to want to let you know that they are thinking about you, or someone who does have that overall energetic nature around them as well. But again, they are tapped into their emotions. They are tapped into, even if they don't seem like the type of person who is emotionally intelligent, they are. And that's why I do feel like they will let you have all the time that you need in order to make a certain decision. And then lastly, I'm going to pull one of these messages. This card here says, courage is the key to the gateway of life. Expansion and freedom are on the other side. And this really gives me that Sagittarius vibe as well, as like that dew energy, that kind of like not being afraid to explore something, not being afraid to be the person who goes ahead and confesses. So this kind of feels like, even if you know who this soulmate is, this connection from a group of friends or something, it feels almost like the ball's in their court and they're going to be the one that steps up and makes this decision. So I feel like you just need to sit back and be who you are, and they're going to come to you and they're going to either offer you something or they're going to start putting more time and energy into you, and you're going to in turn notice that from them. And that's where this soulmate connection is going to really continue to build upon. For some of you, you might have to go through something that could cause this to happen. So if this is a tower moment in your life where there's a breakup, or perhaps you leave a job, or some other big change that happens in your life, and then that's what sort of activates them into reaching out and talking to you more, that might be something that goes on as well. But for whatever reason, I'm getting this feeling like it's going to be them who really is that driving force. So thank you guys so much for getting to the end of your reading. If you liked this reading or it resonates with you, remember to leave a like in the comments. Go ahead and place a, let's see here, like a moon, this moon for intuition emoji down below to let myself and others know that you did get this far in your reading. And also remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more tarot pick a card readings in the future. And again, thank you guys so much for getting this far, and I'll see you in the next video.